Okay folks, it's 9 o'clock UK time, Sunday night. Can mean only one thing. Before we start, I need 10 things from you. 10 little taps. 4 for the help, 1 for the space, 4 for the yeah, 1 to put a smile on my face. Send it folks, let's get this started. Here they come. Let's do this. Greetings and salutations, good folk of Terrainia. It is I, Lamel, and I am in a very good mood. How are you guys doing tonight? Been a bit of an interesting week. Yeah, let's do the haze. Yeah, I see Sam, I see Jason, I see BGD, I see Gary, Don, John, Paul, Bat, Lorenz, Memo. How's the stream coming through? Let me know if you're experiencing any problems. I'm getting the error that we normally get. Yeah, but we seem to stream okay. So just let me know. I see Martin. Yeah, I see Nemesis. And there's a few more in the chat. Now I see about 40, 45 people chatting. Yeah, or in the chat. Hit that like spike, guys. Let's push this out. Yeah, let's show YouTube who is the boss and that we are live and the party has started. Everyone's saying it looks good, so I'm just going to roll with it. Come on, hit that like button. Dip, tap, dip. Let's get the party started. Now, the Google Doc, obviously this is a question and answer show, and the show goes on as long as I've got something to talk about. Yeah, so links down below. The question, the link to the Google Doc is open. You don't need to log in or anything. All you need to do is jump onto the Google Doc, leave your screen name, leave your question, and we'll jump to those in a little while. Grawley, how are you doing? Got 3 Pegasus nights from my missus. All good. I like the sound of that. What is everyone else up to? Let me know in the chat. We'll have a little bit of a general chat to start off with, and then we'll go from there. I have to confess that having missed a lot of streams, I run 2 D&D games. That's cool. And 1 is usually now. Ooh, right. It's okay, mate. We're around, and I'm doing live streams in the week as well on Thursday nights, UK time. Yeah, where we've been building little buildings. Like this one. Yeah, Sarissa Precision. And I've got the interesting task, yeah, on the next stream of roofing up that and deciding what I'm going to do with these things. So, challenges ahead. From Warhammer Old World. That's launched. Tam, how are you doing? Yeah, I did see that Warhammer Old World has launched. Do you know, for me, yeah, I'm feeling my age. Because I've reached the age now where I'm seeing fashion trends that have come back into style. That were in style when I was much younger and then went out of style. So I've seen those fashion trends sort of go through. Yeah. Currently, most of the boys at my daughter's schools are sporting a mullet. It was started by one lad who decided he wanted a mullet. And I mean, you know, the proper, you know, proper mullet. Yeah. And now it's spread throughout the entire school. Yeah. Now with Warhammer Old World, I see it in much the same way. I've seen the trend and it go out, and then I've seen it go, and then I've seen it come back, and I realised I'm a really old war gamer. Brave lad. The guy with the mullet. You can shoot. Mark's saying the top I'm wearing was never in fashion. It's Sunday night. It's my comfy top. Get off my back, lad. Hey, Pagan. Hey, Ben. Mullets never went away. Well, they did. They did in the UK, but they came back. But very much like that with, we've actually had, me and Wills isn't here tonight. She's at her mum's, but we've actually had a really good week. Yeah. As those of you who follow on Patreon and that sort of stuff, sort of know and that sort of stuff, Wills went through some stuff that involved the police, being a victim. And the police sort of didn't do a very good job, yeah, and that really affected me last year, and that was one of the major reasons why I struggled with getting on the channel, because I was in a bad state over it. We actually met with the Chief Inspector this week, and Wills, I mean, it wasn't to sort things, that's actually, we heard from the regulators this week that they're coming in to look at things, but she actually got down to speak, you know, to just air her views with the local commander. And oh boy, did Willsy air reviews. It was great. Yeah, and with obviously with the regulators coming in, I actually feel like, right, this is all off my, I'm not alone with dealing with this and this sort of stuff. So on that side, it's been absolutely positive, and all the dramas that I went through last year that really screwed me over, I'm actually seeing light at the end of the tunnel. So I am on my life sort of stuff that I've been facing, my challenges. Me and Wills, things are good. Things are really good. We're going into 2024 really good. Did have some I've had technical issues with my internet this week, and it only managed to sort today, which is why I was late sorting that live stream, because I didn't want to commit to this live stream unless I knew I could do it. So the fact that I'm here is my commitment to, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah. But also, I managed to sort out my Premiere and my Photoshop and get all that sorted. So I've got my editing software down, and now I've got my, my editing software, and I've been able to download it this afternoon. Yeah, now my connection's up. And I can start actually editing the stuff I've been filming and put it on. Yeah, I've got videos coming as well. So I am absolutely delighted. Yeah, so I am a happy mouth. So we're going to get things rolling. Yeah, we started off in January with me sort of committing to, like, I want to commit and be on the channel every week in some way, as regularly, so I don't disappear for weeks. And we've done it. This is my third live Sunday night in the row. Yeah, that I haven't failed on. I mean, that first one was a bit iffy. The second one was a little, but we're here. It's looking good. So I'm in a really good place, and I'm looking forward to getting in the studio tomorrow and just getting really stuck in. Yeah, so we're rounding off January in a really good place, not just for me, yeah, but for me and Wills with what we've been dealing with that nightmare year. Yeah, and also, I've sorted my technical stuff, I've sorted my PC from Christmas, yeah, we're good, yeah, so we're ending up January in a really good place, and we are rolling into February, more importantly, in the best place we've been probably in a couple of years, I reckon. How I feel. And not just how I feel, but with the fact that there's official people helping us, and things are off my show, and that things have been recognised, have been problems now, and people, when a chief inspector spends most of his time in over half an hour saying sorry to Willow, yeah, I'm feeling like, right, you've recognised you screwed up. And when the independent office of police complaints are like, yeah, we're looking into this, we're contacting them, and can you tell us more about what's going on? And the Staffordshire Commissioner, who governs the entire police force, is the elected representative who governs the entire police force for Staffordshire, yeah, is contacting you going, hi, would you like to meet over this? Finally! It's been a few years, but finally. On the back burner. Yeah, because it's finally been officially recognised and been dealt with and that sort of stuff. We can do terrain! So, I'm a happy chappy. Right, I do not have a single damn question off you folks. So, I'm going to have to ramble, or you're going to have to go down and actually give me something you want to know. Keep off the small scale terrain stuff. I've got that video, I've filmed that, I've got to edit that up. So don't be screwing that. Don't be bringing new things in that I think, yeah, I should have covered that. Or it's going to be, I'm going to have to go back, re-record bits. It's going to be like different clothes, different look. I'm going to be like video in, like I'm Joseph from Technicolor Dreamcoat. Right. Now, with regards to our technical issues pre-stream, I've managed to make 1 scoop of pink strawberry milkshake powder. Go 2/3 of a mug, so we're good to talk. Should read Took. Read Took. Have I missed someone? Right, okay. Oh, let's... Russ did say, Mel, with some teddy bear fur and spirit glue, you could have a mullet too. Do you know what Willow did to me once? She flopped my head. I'm not joking. You know the static photos in my flop box? Gaps for you, these ones here. Yeah, and she literally just got the... She held it, sprinkled it, she flopped at my head. I hate that girl. I love that girl, but I hate that girl. Right. Tried to work out the best way to static grass forest bases for my Slineth army. Worried my homemade applicator might be a bit big for detailed work. Yeah, I can get that. I can get why you'd be worried about something like that. Yeah, especially if it's like a broad sieve sort of thing and you can't get in. Have a look at metal tea strainers, tea leaf strainers, mate. Yeah, they're far smaller, and you can just sort of like put the attachments across. Right. Oh, I took some 28mm buildings, STLs, and scaled them down to some 10mm and printed in resin. Seemed to work fine. That's smart. That is smart. So, no 1/3000 scale question. 1/3000 scale, what's that? I mean, 1/300 is NATO scale. So, 1/3000's, that's got to be coast, that's got to be battleship stuff. That's got to be. That isn't a land-based scale. Not unless it's a campaign map and you're representing the movement of armies. I'm wondering, are we buffering? Oh, don't be. Keyframe frequency is 2.8. Current keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause the current keyframe frequencies. Right. I don't know what I can do about this because it's taking the settings from from YouTube. We're just going to roll with it. And we'll just see how we go. Other than that, I'm just going to Google that. What does that actually mean, that error code? Click. Let me click paste. My keyboard working. Yeah, my keyboard's working. Oh, it hasn't picked up. Right, I will pick that up in due course. Ah, we're losing viewers. All fine here. I do not know what's going on with it. I do not know. But either way, yeah? Right, let's crack on. It's YouTube being a funny bugger tonight. No worries, Mike. You look after yourself. Right, I'm going to crack on, and we're just going to crack on, and I'm going to have to look into that in the future. I'm not going to spoil the stream for it. Because it says we're submitting data, it says everything's working fine there. And a keyframe setting is, I don't know what that is. Right, let's do some questions. John Thompson's asking, have you had any experience of the Proxen cutter? Is it a good buy? I've not had any experience of the Proxen cutter, but I want one because it is a damn good buy. I've got a Foam Factory hot wire cutter, and they're they're spring loaded, yeah, to sort of keep the tension whilst you're cutting the foam. But the Proxen cutter, yeah, it's the foam cutting height on it is far lower. Yeah, it's only about that much. Yeah, but it's really well tensioned, which means as you're doing sort of detailed work, your wire stays perfectly still. On top of that, Gerard from Shifting Lands, I think it's Shifting Lands or shiftingsands.com. Shifting Lands or Shifting, Sands. I think it's shiftinglands.com. He does a load of MDF, sort of like laser cut kits that you can go with the Proxen, that you attach onto them, that give you guides and abilities to do curves and stuff like that. It's really fancy stuff. And if you combine his guides and his sort of MDF stuff with a Proxen cutter, you can do some phenomenal stuff. He actually did a book on it. Yeah. Gerard Bloom, yeah, Shifting Lands, and I'm going to do that typical thing where I run very quickly out of the room just to grab the book so I can show you. Come on, where's Gerard's book? Because it is a good one. Buildings, easy to find. Now, that's the sort of stuff Gerard does. Yeah? And he uses his proxon to do it. And he's really good at it. I want to see if I can see the guides and stuff he uses. So, here you go. Here's a quick picture. Yeah? Just a little one out of his book. You can see the proxon. Yeah? But if you look just there, do you see the MDF sort of bevel thing? Yeah? They're one of his tools that he uses. One of his jigs, as Martin says. And the stuff he can do with the jigs is amazing. I mean, here you are. The dude's got a circular jig for making domes out of XPX foam with a hot wire cutter. For making perfect domes that end up like that. That dome with Gerard's jig, yeah, was cut from, you know, XPS with a hot wire, and it's perfect. As are all the arches, and they're all through his jigs and templates. So, if you're considering getting a proxon, yeah, you're not buying a proxon. If you're going to use it for terrain, you have to look at it as a proxon and a shifting lands combo, because with the stuff he's got, yeah, you just creative freedom with XPS, and it's perfect because everything's lined. So, quick shout out to Gerard because he is an awesome guy and he does awesome stuff. Now, the interesting thing is, he sent me all his MDF jigs. I just don't have a proxon, so I need to get one. Yeah, Menno's saying Gerard is a very friendly guy, great chap. Yeah, totally. Mark's saying there's also a lot of MDF jigs to use on proxy with a proxon on Etsy. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, Tam. Tam's pushing out the question doc. I've got a few more questions so we can keep going. I'm going to have to wet the whistle. YouTube's intermenting between, oh, I'm not sure if you're good or I'm not sure if you're bad, but I'm just rolling with it. Looks like something to order then. John, I totally recommend, yeah, getting one. But seriously, mate, go and have a look at Gerard's site, shiftinglands.com. Or Google Shifting Lands. Yeah, you'll find it. Lee, Santa, Annie, hey Lee, brought me a proxon. It's awesome. And its height is actually 14 centimetres. Can I borrow you? Yeah! Yeah, you can borrow my jigs, dude. They are literally, I've got them all in a stack. I've already put them together. I just haven't got a proxon. So absolutely, mate. And let's have a play, see what we can do with it. Oh! I didn't think I'd get access to a proxon, but if Lee's got a proxon and I've got the jigs, I'm going to be giving some fancy stuff a go. I'm liking that. Keep an eye on the channel. Yeah, we'll do a bit of a vlog as me and... In fact, Lee, do you fancy being on a video? And me and you will just do a casual vlog as we get it on, play with it, explore with it, see what we can do. Yeah? Let me know. Let me know if you're up for that. That could be a giggle. By the time you've brought a proxon and the usual SL jigs wallet, you need a serious holiday. You know what? I can understand what people say like that. Yeah? But I've got mates. And my mate was telling me how much he pays for a single golf club. Yeah? So to be perfectly honest, with regards to this hobby terrain, considering our materials are mainly polystyrene and stuff like that, proxon's a good buy. A good buy. Right, let's do some more questions. Hope to help you, John. If you're liking it, links down below, dude. Hunter's Cave. Do you have any recommendations for flocking a full-size Blood Bowl pitch? Do it in patches. Yeah, if you want to do a full size, first you need to use a low level flock. So I would look at 1 or 2 mil. 4 mil, you're probably pushing it. So 1 or 2 mil, yeah, because obviously the grass on a pitch is really short. Next, you want to remember that in the middle, yeah, and by the sort of ends is the area that where it would be worn most thin. So you want it as patchy as there, and then you want it more sort of more filled up and thicker flocking around the edges and where the players wouldn't run as much. Okay, it is important that you that you do it in a patchy way and you don't just flock the entire thing, because you also need to put your lines down and your spots. Now with your spots, yeah, I'd like to remind you that you can actually dry brush and spray flock. It does take acrylic paint. So you can very gently dry brush white lines over the area where you want to put your lines in, and that will go over the flock. Or you can get an airbrush the lines in. Or if you don't want a white grid on it, what you can do is just come in and you can do little white spots, yeah, with your airbrush, yeah, and just point out the corners of each of the grid. Or do it in a different colour, you know what I mean, but something that is recognisable. Yeah, but that's my recommendation. Do not flock the entire thing. Yeah, keep where the main thing, where most of the action it goes on. Yeah, much like with an old pitch, keep it bare. Realistically, keep it bare near the end areas where the scrummages and stuff like that. Thicken it up and then make sure you can put your lines on. Now that is my recommendation. I could probably go on for a lot more, but I don't know what sort of pitch it is, what sort of effect you're trying to get. Yeah, so we'll go from there for now. Right, Lee's up for the vlog. Excellent. Marty's recommend get the foot pedal controller for the Proxen as well. There's a foot pedal for it. Does it rev? If I was stateside, I'd get you my spare Proxen. I appreciate it, buddy, but Lee's bringing his round, so we'll be able to have a play. Donegal, first time watching live? Welcome to the party, buddy. What do you think 6mm building interiors would be for 10mm? Oh, I can't see. I actually can't see the rest of the question. I'll pick that up in a second. Right, let's move on with these questions. Right. Quick topical question. Yeah. Hot water before milk in a cup of tea, or do it wrong and put the milk in first? Right, let's ask the chat on that one. Okay, who puts the milk in first? Go. Right, I'm going to look at the next question while you answer. Milk in last? Milk last, milk last, milk last. Milk last. Yeah, I think, you see, I defy anyone to tell the difference. Hey, Callisto. Milk always last. Milk, come on, there's got to be one of... There's always someone who's diversive in the chat. Come on. Never in a microwave. Oh, you never put a cup of tea in a microwave. Milk, Nemesis, good answer. I think everyone's established whiskey first, good answer. No one's going to say milk first. Yeah, because at this point they're going to realise that the entire chat's going to savage them. Right. One from our good friend Rusted Beetle. Yeah. While you're working on the Sarissa buildings, what primer do you prefer to seal with? I prefer an enamel rattle can, but I'm open to suggestions. The enamel helps seal the MDF and prevents the MDF from soaking the water out of the glue and paint. Totally agree with the enamel ones, but I use an acrylic paint. I actually use Army Painter. Yeah, the Army Painter rattle cans. And I use GW ones as well, and I also use, car primers. Yeah, but above all, I use acrylic rattle cans. Now, the reason I use Army Painter is because Army Painter have a range of rattle cans that they also have a liquid acrylic paint colour for that's colour matched. So, if you give me a moment. Yeah. This one. Take an army. So, when you go up to Army Painter paints, yeah, and you look at them, yeah, you'll notice that some of them have a little circle just there. And I know it's really difficult for you to see, yeah, but that basically says colour matched. And they've got about a range of 20 of their paints which have got that symbol. And what that means is, yeah, for that colour, there's a rattle can, what do you call it, spray of that colour, exactly the same. Which means, yeah, that when I'm doing MDF buildings, I can come along, yeah, and I can rattle crack can them, yeah, with an army, what do you call it, colour. And then any of the undercuts or bits or stuff that are difficult to get at with the rattle can, yeah, I can then either come back with an airbrush with a couple of drops of that in and just get nice and easy and just touch those up, or just a brush, yeah. And I know this colour that I'll be going on to fill those little bits is exactly the same as my, what you call it, as my primer. So that's what I use, and that's why I use it. It's not. It does seal it. It seals it perfectly. It stops, you know, paint getting soaked up and all the sort of things that enamel do. But it makes painting it so much easier because I'm priming it and painting it at the same time with my rattle can, touching up with that, and then I'm already straight onto the weathering phase. So my priming is also my painting. So that's why I recommend Army Painter for that sort of stuff. Because not just they're good paints, you know, I do use other rattle cans and stuff like that. Yeah, see? I use all sorts. But when it comes for MDF buildings and stuff like that, I do like the Army Painter range. Specifically for that reason, the fact that I can use spray cans and I know I can get an acrylic colour. Dude, thank you! Yeah. I know I can get an acrylic colour straight, you know, that will match it to touch up the little areas and stuff like that. So, that's my position on the old MDF acrylic stuff. The big question is whether any of the new Army Painter range colour match to the spray cans. I do not know. I can't imagine that they wouldn't, but I don't know how that's going to work. Lee's saying, you don't need to seal with Sarissa MDF. They told us when we met them. Just a good spray and paint. Sarissa do use, what do you call it, their MDF. It is, if you actually look at it, it's shiny. Yeah? Do you see how it's got a gloss coat on it? They actually pre-seal it, Sarissa do. So you can just paint straight onto it and it doesn't absorb it. I mean, obviously there's bare bits at the little corners and stuff like that, but the actual, all the sides and the MDF, it's sealed. Yeah, but that's only Sarissa that do that. I don't know about other MDF people. Tom's gone back to the Blood Bowl and just saying, don't forget, it isn't always played on verdant fields. You could make a rocky, an ash waste, or even a lava effects board. Totally could, mate. Paul's saying, what you got? Maybe rumour engines say, but they may do some rattle cans to match. I would imagine with Army Painter's new colour range, they will do rattle cans to match. Because one of their big thing was the fact that you could spray, you know, units with a one base colour and then go in with the acrylic and touch it up. Hey Mountain Troops. New range of Army Painter paints in feeds at the minute. Still loads of paint, slapping and clopping on figures. On top of that, you've got the, what you call it, you've got Duncan's Too Thin Coats new paint range. Yeah. There's a lot of paint ranges on the market at the minute. I mean, I've still got all my old Army Painter stuff and I'm just cracking on. But then again, I've got Ghostly Grey from 1998. And I'm still using it. That's been well looked after. The matte medium, that's had dropped in it to bring it back alive. Ben, thank you, buddy. First live stream, welcome. Sarissa are just the best. I've got so much now. Cheers, Ben. Oh, it's your first super as well. I feel privileged, buddy. Thank you. Right, Lee's saying Sarissa are just the best. I've got so much now. Those beach landings boats are crazy and a joy to put together. I wanted those for the D-Day board. I wanted to sort of take them, cut the front off them and embed them on the board as sort of deployment zones onto the beach. No worries, Ben. Thanks, mate. Vallejo do a good range of what you call it, colours in their airbrush primers. You see, so many paint ranges. Jason has still got 2 unopened pots of Goblin Green from the 90s. Mate, you could probably put those on eBay and then like buy a house with what people would pay for those. Goblin Green. Do you know how many old worlders would love that for the edges of their bases? Which is ironic, because I think I've got 3 pots of it. I've got so many paints. Yeah, I still have pots from the old Citadel paints made by Coat d'Arms. So do I, including their ink range. Yeah, I have Coat d'Arms paints as well in the studio. Which means I am really showing my age. Oh, that was getting sore. Evan Williams, hi Mel. God, I could watch. What are you working on lately? I'm just pottering with some watch clips, some MDF kits, buddy. Is it Sarissa that do the templates and textures paste to add finishes like brick and stone? I don't know about the texture paste, but I do know that they have a whole load of stencils for working with kits and adding brickwork and stuff like that. So stencils and templates, yes. Yeah. The actual paste, I'm not sure. Gary Eckford, do you know anything about diamond painting? I was going to use some of the diamond drill in my terrain. I don't know anything about diamond painting. Are we talking about, is it a painting technique? Or are we talking about, what do you call it? Ah, it's gemstone painting. That's where you do a painting, yeah, and then you put tiny little gemstones. Yeah. I have used these in terrain, in only in an incredibly small way. Yeah. You can buy little bags, yeah, of like highly polished sort of either glass or bits of rocks, but they look like little gemstones. I use them when I'm basing Eldar or making Eldar terrain. Yeah, and I use them as little like scatter as rocks and stuff. And in the concept of doing like Rathbone, it works really well. Yeah, so yeah, I do know that. And with regards to using it, I have done it. The actual demonstration, I don't know, can we find that photo? Can I get that on the stream? Give me a second. Right, let's see if I can find the photo of that. Right, it's going to be on my terrain sheet storage. It's going to be... Okay, where's all terrain essentials? Planning, colour wheel, finance, photos of content. 50 Shades. Right, give me a second. There's a lot of pictures in here. That's the Eldar one. Let's see if I can find it. Right, did it. Give me a sec. They're here. I've just got to find the right one. Right, that's the snow ones. Where's the Eldar one? There's the snow ones. Oh, come on, don't be a git. Right, I'm determined. Right, view extra large icons because my eyes are rubbish. Right, lava, 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 ice, 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 rocky, alien. Where the hell are you? Cover pick desert, greenfield, rocky, snow specials. Extra large. Here we go. Where's the final pick? There we are. Here we go. Right, I'm going to drag this across, see if this works. Ah, great. 1 second, folks. Let me fit it to the screen because I'm like banded in this. There you go. That's just a base. It's EPVC card that I've cut and sort of sanded and etched into. A little bit of plastic card. Yeah. There's no texturing on it whatsoever, but I've used the little gemstones to sort of like Aldar rocks. And I use that same technique on my larger terrain bases and stuff like that. So remove that. So sorry that took a little while, but yeah, on the diamond painting it does work, and in specific areas can work rather well. Right, I need to get back to questions. So, Gary, hope that answers your question, dude. Right, I'll do a very quick check, make sure we've not missed anyone on PayPal. I don't think we have. I don't think we've had any direct. Oh, literally, just as I picked the phone up, someone's. I don't know if it's come or the notification. Lucky I checked. Come on, send me a text. And we will see and read. Great. My PayPal that I've just shouted out that I need to notify and give the shout out for. I'd like to shout out for the fact that I've just paid £5.99 in British pounds to Games Workshop for their online content. So, that's the PayPal's done. Back to the questions. Oh my. This is where Mel needs a stream assistant. Yeah. Also, I need to be a little bit more organised. And mainly, I'm focusing just on being here. Yeah, and enjoying it, which is the main thing. Right, we have 73 viewers and 45 likes. Come on, let's show YouTube algorithm who's the boss and if we're enjoying ourselves. 2 taps. Hit that like button, folks. I'll get cracked on with the next question. Paul's asking. Okay, Twilight Wargames have had some samples out from Spellcrow for a couple of months. And after some careful consideration and review, I was thinking about just doing a complete table of tiles they've sent. Pavement versus V2 style received. My question is, should I splash out for them for a 4x4 table? Expensive, or go scratch build? Right. Let's have a look what that is. Twilight Games from Spellcrow. Let's have a look at some images. Okay, nothing. Twilight Games. Allow all cookies. Spellcrow. Well, let's have a look at this Spellcrow. What's Spellcrow? Come on, load the pictures. Not loading the pictures. Yeah. Right. It looks to be some sort of fantasy game. 10 mil. If it's 10 mil, I'd be concerned about building. I I don't see the tiles they're on about. I'd be concerned. It depends on the size of the tiles, because I mean, if the tiles are 2 foot by 2 foot, 10 mil, then there's only so many ways you can lay them out over a 4 foot area. You know, and so there's not much variation in gameplay for that. That would be my concern. Unless you're doing 1 foot by 1 foot tiles, which would be 16 tiles. Plus also, this is a sneak, I've also answered this quite in depth, and literally this sort of issue, you know, with how to lay out small scale terrain, in the small scale video that I asked you not to ask me any more questions on. I have a feeling this guy's tried to sneak a small scale question in under the sky by not mentioning it was small scale and engaging me until I looked at and actually looked it up and realised he's talking 10 mil. Yeah, see, even the guy driving outside beeping his horn agrees you're out of order, dude. But to answer your question, there's a video on the channel on Tuesday that will answer that question, dude. So I'm going to let you watch that. And I'm not going to spoil all the work I put in. Or be distracted, betracted, or whatever, detracted into what you call it. Into getting small scale terrain questions. Right. Question 7 of 9. Which is one of my favourite sci-fi characters. Mears. Do you also make terrain for pen and paper RPGs? I don't. Yeah. Me and the kids, we do play a few dungeon sort of delving games. Not RPGs as such. Yeah, but more a mixture between Dungeons and Dragons and board games like Hero Quest, Advanced Hero Quest, Dungeon Saga, games like that. Yeah, so we do that. Yeah, but I don't really cover the making the terrain. You want to go and look at someone called the DMG Info. The stuff that guy can do with hot glue and cardboard is phenomenal. There's another one as well. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. But you'll find him, DMG, what you call the link to him. Yeah. Josh! Thank you, buddy. I'm glad the tutorials have helped, mate. Thank you. It all goes to help pay the studio rent, which I'm behind in. Jeremy Black Magic Crafts, he does it, but I'm actually thinking, I thought this guy, whoever's asking, yeah, which looks, no, there's a really old guy, I can't remember him, from back in the day, like 5 years ago, and he did loads of really good stuff. But yeah, DMG Info, obviously Jeremy Black Magic Crafts, Witchlock's Armory, they're all good to check out, mate. Oh. Crawley's saying there's nothing better than using real quartz crystals for gem terrain. Coloured with a wash if you want variety. Totally agree, mate. Terrainscapes? Oh no, not Mike from Terrainiacs. There was one of the cardboard crafters, the D&D cardboard crafters. At the time, it was him and DMG Info who were like, what you call it? Who were like the big guys in that sort of in the actual dungeons and, you know, making really easy tile terrain for Dungeons and Dragons specifically. Terranscape should never have left YouTube. What happened to him was a git. Terranscapes, yeah, was an amazing model maker. Amazing guy. And he was a high school physics teacher. Yeah, really intelligent. So he really understood the science behind everything he was doing, and he did and his videos are still up. Terranscapes the channel. His videos are still up, but he hasn't produced videos anymore. But his videos are still there. And if you're into terrain, there's stuff to learn from every single one of them. I still go back and watch them. Yeah, he was so great. Yeah, but he got shafted by Patreon. Absolutely screwed over. You see, he was set up on Patreon, yeah. Was that Mike? Yeah, Mike from Terrainiacs. Yeah. Oh, Terrainiacs, he was high strung, no doubt. Yeah, not saying, he was very particular and he was very sharp and, he used to beat himself up constantly over the tiniest things. But he was a really great guy. You know what I mean? Once you sort of got past to sort of his approach to how he was as a person and you could engage with him. Me and him, we used to hang out for hours on like sort of private live streams, and we'd drink beer and just get drunk and talk shit. Oh, sorry for swearing if there's little ones, but you know what I mean? He was, once you got past how he was and you could engage with him on that, he was a great guy. Yeah. But what happened was, he was on Patreon like me, and he got roughly the same sort of supporters as me at the time, and he was on the same sort of like, platform. So same sort of setup where he was on a sort of per creation payment sort of thing, and not a monthly one. And he decided it'd be better, for the way he produced videos, if he actually just went and said, no, actually I'll take it monthly. Yeah, and so he went to Patreon and he clicked the convert to monthly, to like one monthly payment. Thinking that what it would do is, on Patreon, people say, oh, I'll pledge this much and I'll pledge to support so many videos, so you'll get this much, and if you do this many, that's the most. And he did that thinking that Patreon would go, okay, what's the most that these people are willing to give him a month? Total that up and convert it over, to a monthly amount. Seems reasonable. That's not how it worked, and that's not how it works. What actually happened was when he converted it over to a monthly amount, Patreon just said, right, I'll take one payment from everyone. It's a one creation. So basically what he did is when he turned to monthly, he just basically forced Patreon to only take one payment, for one creation. When people had pledged for like 3, 4, 5, and he completely his income just crashed. And within a couple of months he was gone from YouTube. And at the time, he was the top terrain builder on YouTube. And just that, and Patreon not explaining how it works, ended a 9-year channel, a full-time business, and I think he went back to teaching. I was furious. And it's the reason why I haven't gone to like 1 month, and I stick with, even though I'm struggling to put out videos, I can't go and just say, hey, just support me through them and that sort of thing. And so what they did to Mike, but he was an amazing model maker, amazing, and genuinely, I know the guy's not around anymore online, and I don't know if he watches the vids or whether after that he just decided he was walking away from YouTube. I know he was still hobbying and that sort of stuff, but walking away from YouTube. But that was wrong. Patreon should have sorted that. He was top of the terrain game. It was a full-time living, and he was living off his patrons, and changing it to a simpler way of just billing them. Gone. So if you do want to watch some really good videos, go and check out Teran Scapes. And when you do, just put in the comments, Mel's still talking highly about your buddy. I don't know if he even looks at the comments, but I'd like him to know that he is still considered one of the best terrain makers in the world, and that's by me, who somehow has ended up with 190,000 subscribers, a book and all that sort of stuff, and I am in awe of his ability. So miss you, buddy Mike. And even if you're not around and don't want to if you ever want to hang privately, I'd love to, mate. You just hit me up. And if you don't, enjoy your hobby, mate. You crack on. I think the best of you. Oh, Terrainaholic. No need to mention Terrainaholic. Bill pops up in the chat. He's still around. I was drunk with him at Adepticon before the pandemic, and I fully planned to be drunk with him again. So we don't need to talk about it too. But Terrainaholic. He's another one of the old dinosaurs back from the day. The lass from Norway in Nerdford, she's good too. But she's new to this game. She's young. I wonder how old she was when I started YouTube. Don't even think about it, Bose. She was probably 6. Martina. Bill and Sue are great. I love Bill and Sue. I think they're great. I used to like watching Commissioner Gamsa's terrain videos. Then he went a bit weird. I remember him right back in the start. And he got that commissar outfit and then started like doing weird videos in the woods with his missus. Bardscraft's another one. Right, I am on question 8 of 10. I will check to see if there's any peas, if I need to pee. I don't think I need to pee. As in PayPal, but we'll check. Right, we've still got a few more questions to go. Hey, Crown, I need to reply to you, buddy. I'm sorry, I haven't. Yeah, but yes, I will come on your podcast, dude. What time zone are you in? Where in the world are you? Just so we can figure out a rough time. Nada. Right, no PayPals, but we have had live streams, so thank you. And just another one. Just shout out to Josh. Thank you again, buddy. That's worthy of definitely a shout. I'm learning new buttons. I'm in Japan. Japan, right. So you're going to be... You've got to be at least a good 8, 9 hours. Probably 10 ahead of me. So your evening would be... Your late evening would be my midday. That's doable, mate. That's doable. We will talk. Neil at Real Terrain Hobbies is great. He is. He absolutely is. I was part of his Kickstarter. He pushed for his little Shire things. Hobbit holes, that's them. Remember the Colonian. Oh man, now you are talking. This lot do not know about the Colonian. Yeah? Let me explain what the Colonian. If you got Cheech from Cheech and Chong, Otto the bus driver from The Simpsons, and a terrain maker, and you compress them into one person, you would have the Colonian. The Colonian, yeah, he would sit there showing on videos, and there's videos just that you can search for him sitting there, yeah, whilst openly, clearly being the biggest stoner you can possibly imagine, whilst talking about being banned from the local town entirely, except being banned from the petrol station because he was the driver of the local school bus. And I'm not making this up. Yeah, this is absolute. I don't need to go watch it. Just watch his late. You know, I mean, literally, Cheech, and he looks like Otto and Cheech if you combine them. And then I see him in his in his school bus. And he's on YouTube making terrain videos. Oh, I'll tell you what. You know these new young'uns, these ones with their really good camera angles and their smiles and their, you know, the pre-rolls and all that sort of stuff. Us dinosaurs of the terrain world. Oh, we were a different class. We were bandit running it. We are a different breed. And you know, Bill's still around. And you know, over the past 3 years, the universe has attempted many times to bring me to an end. On YouTube and physically and mentally, but I'm still going and I'm not changing. I'm going to be a bad shit, just throw it at the wall, build terrain, don't really care, as long as we're having fun and you're getting the info and I'm helping and we're having a laugh. Let's do it. What's his name on YouTube? It's the Colonian, yeah, and that's the KAMLOOPIAN. Just go watch his vids. Just put him on for an evening and listen to his stories. Yeah. And also, he's full of really good tips. Yeah, about how he makes terrain. And that dude, he has the most laid back, casual way of approaching terrain. Yeah. I mean, if in fact, do you know what? It's almost like Mike from Terran Scapes, yeah, and what you call it, and the Colonian are the yin and yang of the terrain world, because how Mike is a great modeler, yeah, but he's such a perfectionist and he's so good on his presentation, you know, and everything, yeah, and then you've got the Colonian, who's a great modeler, doesn't give a flying French word in the slightest about presentation or anything, or applying things. You watch how he comes up with his washes. Yeah. Just watch it. Yeah. And they're like the yin and yang. And I grew up between them. Yeah, I'm the mix. Yeah. But yeah, us dinosaurs, we're still around. You don't see us, we roam in the mist, and occasionally I pop my head up and you see the great Tyrannosaurus bald head that is the Mel. Yeah, but terrain gods used to walk this earth, and I was there when they walked. Mike was so damn good. Right, more questions. Right. Slavana, what project would you like to redo or restore, or what is going to be different? Oh, every single one, but I don't. Yeah? The Melosaurus. No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. The Melosaurus. I may have been a dad. Oh, dude! Thank you for everything you do, Mel. This hobby wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you, buddy. At some point, I will get some projects finished and share them on the Facebook group. Promise. You do that. And remember, folks, the links to the Terrainiacs support group is down below. If you're not part of the Facebook group, get yourself into the Facebook group. Share your stuff you're working on, and if you need any help, the group's there to help. And I need to engage more heavily in that. Now I'm getting better. I'm re-engaging and I'm feeling more comfortable actually presenting myself online and that sort of stuff. And I feel like I'm getting regular. Yeah, so, just like I've got sniffles. Just 1 second. Oh. So, let's crack on. Right. What project would you like to redo or restart, or what is going to be different? I always want to redo projects and stuff like that, but I don't go back to projects because there's so many different projects I want to do. I don't want to redo the same thing. But I would love to go back to the D-Day board and revisit that project and really go to town on it. Like, really. I mean, that was one of my first feature builds. I'd love to see what I can do with it now. But, before that, I want to build Rivendell. So, it is good feed regularly. What are the best biscuits to dunk? I think ginger nuts. Because they're quite tough and so they hold up better and you've got less chance of them breaking off into your brew. But that's me personally. Yeah, Rivendell, that's going to be a challenge. But then again, now Lee's got his Proxen and I've got those jigs and I can do fancy precision cutting with it. Oh, don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. D-Day but Flames of War. Well, that's an idea. That is a giant. You know, I've always thought about it. I never actually thought about dropping the scale down with Go, but yeah. Point to Hawk. Sarissa Buildings for Caratan World War II project next. Yeah. You need a laser cutter for Rivendell. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Right. Rusted. If a company approved you for a commission build for a convention, what company would you want it to be? And what would the build you'd want to do? Right. Yeah. First off, in realistic terms, I'm avoiding all sorts of commissions for companies right now because I'm trying to avoid putting myself under undue pressure whilst I re-engage with the channel. I don't want the pressures of letting companies and that sort of stuff down because I'm struggling or anything like that. But well, I mean, Sega and Creative Assembly asked me to do that build for the release of Total War. Warhammer Total War. I imagine, to be truthful, it would be Games Workshop, being asked to do a commission for Games Workshop. Yeah? What would you want to do? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite. I think, yeah. I think I'd like to go sort of old school. And if I was going to do something, I would take inspiration from the very first General's Compendium, or something like, the Chaos source books, or what was it, Slaves to Darkness and Legion of Damned. Yeah, that had all the really wild inspiration, sort of chaos terrain, and sort of take those and see if I could come up with something from between them. Now, but yeah, GW would bring you stress. Yeah, they would. They actually asked me once about building terrain for them. Yeah. But I think they were more sounding me out as what I was like as a person, that sort of stuff. And I actually turned around and I said, I don't do commissions, and with no offence, I don't need the stress right now of letting GW down. And I think they like that, me being honest with them. I would love to see your interpretation of Fenris and the Fang Fortress if you did a GW commission. Now the thing is, I've read that book. I know the fortress and the story you're talking about. And when I read it, I thought the same bloody thing. I thought that would be an awesome build. A real awesome build. Oh, right. I have one more question and we are an hour in. I'm going to close the Google Doc because my throat is starting to get sore and I'm feeling it. Yeah, and it has been a cracking show and we've been done. But what's the last question? Is it a good one? Is it? Paul's asking. To follow on from my spell question link below. Right. Paul's asking about his Spellcrow. Right. Ooh! Yeah, it's a fantasy game. Pavement 2. Oh, they're like blocky pavements. How big are they? $75mm by set. Dude, forget that. Do not buy those. I know they're only £3, but at 75mm for £3 for 75mm by 75mm paving, resin piece of paving, and you want to do 4 foot by 4 foot. Dude, don't. Right, go out, yeah. Go look at bobbly, textured wallpaper. Yeah? It looks like cobblestones. You can spray it with a rattle can, dry brush it. Yeah? The effect of that actual pavement you're showing me, you can get rollers. You can roll on XPS foam. That'll come up with that texture. Dude, do not buy those. Yeah, Rusted's saying buy a couple of wide texture rollers. Exactly. Old World Britannia Castle. Oh, Castle. Stop it. Right. You're stretching me, guys. Ravenloft. Oh. Not Raven. Drakenfell. Drakenfell's castle. From the roll paste off. Oh, Callisto's saying, don't spray it with a rattle can. It goes sticky. I thought you could spray it. I'm sure I have. All right, but listen. Callisto. Right. Right, folks. I think we've had a good show. If you've liked the show, the links are below. There are videos coming this week because my internet's sorted. I've got my editing software. I've got stuff to actually edit and put on. So, let the good times roll. This is my 3rd live show in a row. I have connected every week this month. Yeah? Alright. Yeah, that's right. Yeah? Drakenfells. Yeah. So, folks, it's been an absolutely brilliant show. Roll on next month, eh? In the meantime, I think there's a Valheim game coming, Mel, on Xbox. Valheim is already on Xbox, mate. Me and Corbin have been cross-playing it for ages. Right. Give me 10 taps. And we'll say goodbye. 4 for the hell, 1 for the space, 4 for the air. 1 to put a smile on my face. Hope I have put a smile on your face too. Have a great show, guys.